To understand crypto and Bitcoin, you have to understand why there is a narrative against it. You can't control it. When your money's in your bank, you don't own your money. When your cash is in your hand, you own your money. Anthony James here, and no doubt, if you've been following along in the Bitcoin world, things are a little crazy at the moment. In fact, Elon Musk came out and basically took a giant narrative around green energy as it relates to Bitcoin and threw it out there in the wild. Now, you're probably saying, hey, should I sell? Should I get out? Is this the end of crypto? Or is it the perfect buy opportunity? Or should I wait and it go lower? So first off, I just want to take a minute and really want to address the Elon Musk situation. I have some videos coming out as part of my bitcoinunbound.com data report. But one of the things that we have to understand when we look at this situation is we have to look at what is crypto and what is the deal with this green energy narrative. And why is it actually okay for crypto? So first off, what I want to do is I'm going to tell you about an artificial intelligence tool that I've been developing called Unbound. And what Unbound does, it allows me to actually get insights into media-driven narratives. For example, mainstream media. What are they pushing? What's the story? And what is the reach it has among the actual market? And at what point does it cause the market to make a shift? Now, to understand crypto, you have to understand that Bitcoin is a pure representation of freedom. It's run by people on their own computers. It bypasses corporations, financial institutions. The economic reward is given to the people. It's distributed across hundreds of thousands, if not millions of servers to store the ledger transactions. Again, I know it's a little confusing, right? But if you look at what Elon Musk did, in fact, on bitcoinunbound.com, I have a video that analyzes a message that he sent to the world about Bitcoin and crypto in general. Now, Elon Musk actually did Bitcoin a favor by coming out and saying, hey, we're gonna stop taking Bitcoin for Tesla transactions. However, we are going to continue holding Bitcoin for the time being. And what he did is he surfaced the narrative and said, Bitcoin mining is consuming too much energy. Now, there's a few things that we have to understand. First off, the energy consumption is actually cited within the original Bitcoin white paper when it was published by Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin. Elon Musk is fully aware of the energy consumption. And in fact, that energy consumption is core to what gives Bitcoin value. And so that it actually has something attributed to it that's worth value. It costs energy to mine, therefore it is worth value. Now, Elon Musk knows this. However, what people don't know that I have insights on due to my tool, the Unbound, is there was a media narrative driven by people within the government, but it was coming out in the media around Bitcoin. First, it was inefficient, and that narrative didn't catch traction. And then we saw the narrative come out that the energy consumption of Bitcoin is not sustainable. We need to go to something else. Now, you have to begin to understand, and to understand crypto and Bitcoin, you have to understand why there is a narrative against it. You can't control it. Third-party institutions can't take their hands in it. Now, when your money's in your bank, you don't own your money. When your cash is in your hand, you own your money. That's the equivalent of Bitcoin. When you have a hardware wallet, it's your money. Now, the government, or we can say the government, but members within the government, financial institutions, central banks, they've come out and said, we can't control Bitcoin. It is a threat. Now, at this point, Bitcoin is too large to actually ban. So the only way that you can get around it and avoid it from going from mass adoption, which is a threat, right? When you don't need, when it's run by the people for the people, it's outside the reach of institutions and government and things like that. So it's a threat. And so the only way to actually handle that threat is to discredit or defame it. What Elon Musk did is he proved two things. Thing number one, he proved that not a single powerful person like him, arguably he's pretty powerful, can successfully attack or destroy Bitcoin. Now, you might be able to diminish the value, but Bitcoin as an entity in and of itself survived, which is a stress test. It proves the entire purpose of Bitcoin: distributed, decentralized, and for the people. Thing number two is, since my tool was indicating an elevation of narrative around the green energy campaign, what Elon Musk did is he brought that to the forefront of the market. It's now priced in. And not only that, the amount of positive conversation articulating around the green energy usage, the amount of renewables that's actually participating in it, and how there's value derived within a coin because of that energy usage, that conversation is now starting to come out. So he actually, by kind of attacking, priced in this narrative, counterattacked the negative narrative, and got everybody talking about how the green energy issue isn't that big of an issue. He brought it up to the forefront so it gets addressed now, and it cannot be used as a narrative to destroy Bitcoin. Again, sign up for my insights. This is kind of a shameless plug, but what we do, we go through some data and I show how this actual data science that's surfacing these narratives, and we understand why there is an anti-Bitcoin narrative and what that means for Bitcoin, because there's these actual relationships of what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a huge impact on society from an economic and a political standpoint in a way that is unimaginable until you dive into it. And I want to help you surface and be educated on that. So long story short, where we're at, this is good for Bitcoin. It's a short-term pullback. Inevitably, when something is open and when something is free, kind of like open source, when it's open and it's free, it will always find a way. When it's for the people and when it's good for the people, it will always find the way. So the long-term prognosis on this is it's going to be fantastic. This is for sure a buying opportunity. It can always go down in the short term. Long term, again, it's a buying opportunity. It's always a buying opportunity. And start asking people, hey, can we do a Facebook transaction in Bitcoin? Can I send Bitcoin? The more people that use Bitcoin, the higher the adoption.